No, I think it's done. It's done. It's done. We know what he is now. We know what he is. You have 6 years, 4 offensive coordinators, 3 head coaches, a gazillion offensive line combinations with elite free agents and first-round picks. A lot of good weapons, some of which have had over 11, 12, 1,300-yard seasons. First-round talent at the running back position, all-pro, another undrafted all-pro at the running back position. Good defenses, solid defensive players, and you get the same result every time. You get the same result every time, and no one has the balls to say it, but I'll say it. I will finally say it, and it has to be done. Someone has to do it. I'm the chosen one.
Somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one.
It's official. Justin Herbert is an average NFL quarterback. He is completely average. I can name 15 quarterbacks I would take over him in a big moment. Sure, he can beat up on the bad teams, but look around. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? The whole get him help narrative, it's over. It's done. Get him help? How much more help can you give him? You bring in freaking Jim, national champion, and former NFL head coach, and he did really well with the 49ers. You bring in blue chip Jim, the best coach in that cycle, okay? And you, like I said, you change offensive coordinators 4 times. They're probably going to fire Roman pretty soon. He's going to be the scapegoat. You bring in, you draft O-linemen in the first round seemingly every year. You bring in free agents on offensive line all the time. You bring in all these sort of receivers. You draft all these sort of receivers. And you can always blame coaching for all these things, but that's just 6 years. Coaching isn't the problem. Herbert is the problem. He's just not very good. He's just not very good. We saw that in the playoff game and in the regular season. I think he didn't even have a great touchdown-interception ratio this year. He's been regressing every single year since, I believe, his 3rd year. He's been regressing. He's been turning into a concrete, block-footed, immobile guy with a strong arm. Just a guy. A jag with a strong arm. That's literally all he is. They don't even have a chance in playoffs. They don't even have a chance in playoff games. We can look at all that stuff. But at the end of the day, 6 years, and every single year you're saying, get him help, get him help, get him help. No, I think it's done. It's done. It's done. We know what he is now. We know what he is. He's gotten all the help. You cannot possibly get more help than the Chargers organization has given him. You can't. They've given him everything. First round wide receiver, first round running back, Austin Eckler, like I said, all pro. High second round receiver, Ladd. Free agent Keenan Allen. Who else? Second round pick Trey Harris, high second round pick. First round pick left tackle who gets hurt all the time.
Alt.
The other one.
Oh, and Rashawn Slater too.
Rashawn Slater. Yeah. First round pick Joe Alt. Center Corey Linsley, who is all pro. They've given him everything. And the defense before Harbaugh was not good, I'll admit, but these past 2 years, defense been pretty good. And that's all that did was get them to the playoffs. But they don't even have a chance in there. The Patriots would have lost to a team who wanted it more. They would have. And the Chargers didn't want it at all. I've been saying this from day one. The coaching staff and the players just seem to be paycheck guys. Just give me my paycheck. I really don't care about winning football games. Give me a paycheck. And Herbert seems to me like the epitome of that. I'm not going to say if a guy cares about winning or not, because you never know. I'm not going to say he doesn't, but I'm just saying that he's not in a position to will his team to... You want to see what Brock Purdy did the other night? That's a guy who wants to win. That's a guy who puts it all on the line no matter what. The 49ers had no business winning that game. They have nothing. They have no receivers. Half the line is hurt. The entire defense is out with injury forever. They're all done. And Saleh's trying to make it work. I mean, he's like he's like the water boys coach trying to figure things out. Purdy, he didn't play perfect, but he played his heart out and they barely won. And that's what I want to see out of Herbert. And for 6 years, we haven't seen that, and we probably never will. 6 years is like, it's a good third of a a pocket passer's career. So we're a third away through, and you can't even win one playoff game, and people are calling you elite. Elite is in the trash. We can throw that away. Now he's in the good or average conversation. And I would argue average because the only game he single-handedly won this year, or 2 games, that another average quarterback might not have won is the Broncos game and the Steelers game. Those are the 2 where, you put in a guy like Bryce Young and they probably lose those games, right? And Bryce Young's probably a little below average.
Bryce Young performed better, too, in that... He performed better in that game against the Rams.
He did perform better.
And the Patriots played pretty bad, too, and they still beat him by 2 scores with these. I mean, come on.
The Patriots, they didn't really seem to have a great game plan. They didn't really seem like they knew what they wanted. They didn't really seem confident in what they were doing, and it didn't even matter.
At least on offense, because on defense...
on offense.
They knew they could just take advantage of Herbert choking. The 3 playoff appearances... and he plays bad in every one of them. You eventually just have to say the guy cannot perform in the playoffs. He was terrible. You can make all the injury excuses you want. I don't care if his O-line's super hurt. He was terrible. He looked like he was pressing. He looked panicked all the time. He would step back one read and then look to run, even when he had a good pocket. Yeah, he's getting destroyed all the time. Even when he had a good pocket, he was panicking.
Well, in yesterday in particular, 6 sacks, I think 49 yards on the loss. So that means when he's taken sacks, he's taken massive ones, 10-yard sacks. Okay, it's such a drive killer. Mm-hmm. It's such a drive killer. He's not nimble enough to play quarterback at the modern era unless he gets the ball out quick, which we all know he doesn't. He can't. You can blame the OC. Sure, bring in a new one next year that specializes in getting the ball out quick. I just don't think he can do it. He holds on to it way too long, and nobody calls him out on it because of the incredible arm. Yeah, sure, he's got a top 5 arm, but he doesn't have so does Stafford, but he doesn't have the mind of Stafford. He's got everything you want in a modern quarterback, besides he's not very nimble, and that's fine, you can work with that. But I just don't think mentally he's there. I just don't think mentally he's as sharp as a Matthew Stafford. I don't think he's as passionate as a Brock Purdy. I don't think he's as hungry as, a Sam Darnold or a Bo Nix, they're just hungry they don't care if they look good or bad, they're just hungry. He's just not like that.
Well, that was a Herbert question, even out of Oregon. But that was the big question is, how is he as a leader? And that was a big question, and he took the league by storm his rookie year, so everybody kind of forgot about that. But now when you're 0-3 in the playoffs and you have 2 touchdowns and 4 picks, then you got to start asking these questions.
And not to mention the fumbles. A crucial one yesterday, and then another one that they got lucky to recover. And then a couple red zone trips that ended in 0 points. A 4th down, everybody wants to blame the call on the 4th down play. Come on. If you're a quarterback, you got to find a way to at least get that 1st down there. Get in the end zone somehow. Or just don't call a run play with a guy who's not mobile at all. That's a story for another day. We're not here to do a play-by-play breakdown. I'm just saying, with Herbert starting yesterday, they didn't have a chance. They didn't have a chance with him starting.
Really, the game, there was a part of me that was wondering, is he finally going to get past his playoff demons? Is he finally going to be good? And about 5 minutes in the game, the question was answered. The first quarter's over, question's answered. You know it's okay. Yeah, this is same old playoff Herbert. You put up 3 points. That's just terrible. That's just terrible. And it's every year when they make the playoffs. As long as they have Jim, they'll probably make the playoffs every year because he's a good coach. Who knows if they ever win one? I don't know if they ever will. And bring back all their guys next year.
You say that every year.
Yeah,
We've been saying
say that every
for 5
year.
years.
These guys are all injury prone. They're going to get hurt again. And then you're going to have the same built-in excuses you do every single year. And eventually the Bucs got to stop with the guy at the top, like it does for basically every other team in the league.
Enough is enough. What's Purdy's excuse for winning that game? What's his excuse? Oh, I'm sorry, we accidentally won because I played my heart. I have no receivers. Half my line's hurt. George Kittle out.
Yeah.
In the second quarter too. It was really early in the game. The entire defense out. We're on our second kicker or third kicker this year. We're on our third kicker. What's his excuse? Oh, we go into Philadelphia and we win the game. Oops, we won the game. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. A guy is a winner and another guy's a loser. And I don't care how big your arm is at that point. Purdy's got, 8 playoff wins, 7 playoff wins? Herbert has 3 appearances. I'm done. He's average. He's on a 1 to 32 starting NFL quarterbacks. I'd put him right at 16. To me, he's the new Andy Dalton. If you have a guy better than him, you're in good shape. If you have a guy worse than him, you're looking pretty bad. And I said it.
He sets the scale now. He sets. We don't have Andy Dalton anymore. We need a new one to set the scale. I can't blame you. Do something if you want to change it.
Yeah.
Everybody's turned on Mayfield now, and no one gives him the hurt guy's excuses, and they've turned on him for a good reason. Everybody's kind of even turned on Goff a little bit, and he doesn't have the offensive injuries, but he's a defensive injuries. No one gives him the excuse, which they shouldn't, because he's not that great either. Seems like
at least those guys have better regular season stats, helping their case.
And I think that because Herbert has the big arm, in a few of those games, he single-handedly wins, I guess, which most quarterbacks do.
Like 2. Like I said, 2, maybe 3 this year.
I guess because of the big arm, everybody just wants to give him all the excuses. At some point, just stop making excuses for the guy. It's funny, I've seen a few people, like a select few, make some, like kind of point out the thing, and everyone in the comments is still like, no, it's this guys. Just admit it. The guy can't win. The guy can't do it. It's kind of like Kirk Cousins' 2020s version. The guy just not going to win big games.
I mean,
he'll get regular season stats.
Performances have to tie into your regular season. So regular season, yes, he's above average. He passes the eye test. Playoffs is so bad, it averages out to average, in my opinion. It's to 16 to 32.
What's the point of being so good? What's the point of being
you can't win a playoff
so
game?
Great? If you can't, you're going to make the playoffs every year and lose in the first round. Your fans are going to know it too. They're going to know, oh yeah, we made playoffs. Then on to next year. Let's have a fun regular season. Is that what you want? Why do you want that? It was the same Andy Dalton conundrum. They would make the playoffs almost every year with him and Marvin Lewis, and they lose in the first round every single year.
Or a Derek Carr kind of situation. Very Derek
Those
Carr.
guys just didn't have the big arms, so they didn't get the national defense.
And they weren't first round picks, like being a top 8 pick.
And I don't recall either of those guys getting like mega contracts, because that was kind of
Carr sort of did.
Sort of.
It was like he got paid a top, I believe 5. I think he was 5th highest paid at his highest, which is not super huge, but it's still
And I guess at that point in time, quarterback salaries weren't so freakishly out there compared to everybody else. They were more in the realm of reason versus now where you got Herbert making $45 million a year to make the playoffs and lose every time.
You're hamstrung.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
You drafted all these offensive positions of need. They in the first round they hardly draft defense anymore because the whole Herbert needs to get him help narrative, and every time you give him more, it seems like he does less with it. I just think his play has been declining, and 6 years in, not even do you not have a playoff win. The first one was just a complete meltdown. It was sad to see. It was like watching a house burning down.
Yeah.
And the nearest fire department's 30 miles away. The second two, they didn't have a chance. From quarter 1 and on, it was clear that they need a miracle to win. When the Patriots are up 6-3, it became clear to me. Well, no, as soon as they were up 9-3, as soon as they kicked the field goal, it was clear to me the Chargers need a miracle to win. And guess what? They got a couple miracles. They got some turnovers from Drake May in crucial situations. Right? They got
they would need a pick 6 to make it happen.
Stops.
They would need a pick 6. They need a defensive score to win, it felt like.
Yeah, and they still couldn't get it done. I'm done. I'm done with that. Everyone's so quick to turn on literally every single quarterback in the league besides Mahomes and Herbert.
Yeah,
everyone's and Lamar. Nobody turns on him. But those are the 3 that you can't touch for some reason. What?
Can't ever criticize him. Can't say anything bad about him.
And I guess for Lamar and Mahomes, it sort of makes sense. They've got some MVPs, some championships.
They have a little bit of hardware
some playoff
behind
wins.
him.
Yeah,
Lamar's won some playoff games at least.
Makes no sense. Makes no sense. No sense. He's had everything.
And a few of the Ravens' playoff losses, Lamar's played decent too. Not great, but decent to where it's, you can't really put it on him. All three of those playoff losses, big part of the problem. Big part of the problem. It's not like a Josh Allen losing to the Chiefs in the divisional round 2, 3, 4 years ago when, nothing that poor guy could do. Their defense just sucks horribly.
If they go and get a Mike McDaniel, that might be a decent idea. But if he can't get it done with 2 first-round picks at the tackles, and then Ladd and Trey Harris and Quentin Johnson, probably maybe even another first-round receiver next year for all we know, and Mike McDaniel at OC.
Omarion Hampton and Vidal is actually not bad.
And Vidal and a second-year Gadsden, who will probably be, a little more complete next year as he learns the position. And if they have the same result next year, they'll fire Jim. They'll put it on him. They'll fire Jim probably. And then what do? You just do the same thing over and over again until, Herbert retires. And what does that sound familiar like? That literally sounds Bengalsy with Dalton. It sounds even Chargersy with Rivers.
Yeah.
It just... Sometimes if you have a supremely average quarterback, it's almost worse than having a horrible one. Because at least with the horrible one, you can just keep trying until you get a great one.
You don't have to stick with them because there's no pressure to stick with them.
When you have a super average one, you kind of have to stick with them until both sides get disgruntled. And usually that's 10 plus years in.
Yeah.
So you waste a decade. I mean, that was literally Derek Carr with the Raiders. They wasted a whole decade on him. Wasted. I'll say wasted.
Oh, yeah.
Wasted. Andy Dalton, they wasted a decade on him. The Bengals did. The Dolphins wasted a good 6 years with Tua. Wasted a big old time with him.
It's you made the playoffs a few times. Is that your aspiration to make the playoffs a few times? Your aspiration should be higher than that.
No, the Browns have made the playoffs a few times, and everybody likes to roast them.
Making the playoffs is a good starting point. If your team sucked for a while, then make the playoffs, you're like, okay, we got something going here. But that shouldn't be where you want to stay and stop. You should be like, okay, we made the playoffs. Now we can do the same thing for 5 years and be happy. No. The playoffs are a good jumping off point when you do it the first time in a while. It's not a good place to stay around.
0 division titles, too, by the way. 0 division titles.
Oh, but Mahomes is in the division.
Tell that to Bo Nix. Tell that to Bo Nix. Tell it to him. Give him that excuse. Mahomes is in this, and Herbert's better than you. So you're, let the Chargers be first seed.
Yeah.
No.
Bro's in his second year and already won the division. And you'd say, the Chiefs suck this year. Okay. Herbert's supposed to be a million times better than Bo Nix, and they still didn't win the division.
If Bo wins next week against who they play?
Bills.
The Bills, yeah. Then they'd go to another playoff game. He'll have as many playoff appearances as Herbert.
He has many playoff games played.
Starts.
That will be wild.
Games start, yeah. True.
Everybody wants to rip on C.J. Stroud a decent amount for sometimes good, sometimes bad reason. And guys at least won some playoff games. I mean...
And look at Drake May, for example, too. He has every excuse in the world. He has no weapons. His O-line's not very good at all. And it looks like, week after week, Will Campbell is devolving into kind of bust territory. He's kind of really bad. Maybe give him another full year.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him a bust. I get the point.
Yeah, he's been basically comparable to their backups, which you don't want to invest a top 5 pick in that. Anyway, the offensive line's not elite. The weapons are not elite. The run, the 2 running backs are pretty good. I'll give them that. And the defense is not elite by any stretch of the imagination. The Chargers' defense is better statistically all year than the Patriots. And they didn't even have to try hard to win that game. They did. All they had to do was not make mistakes, not get in their own way. And you win by, 3 scores, was it?
It was the only non-competitive playoff game of the whole weekend of great games. The Panthers made their game competitive. Come on.
You don't score a single touchdown against the Patriots defense, who last year I think they were top 5 in points allowed. It's not like they had that much turnover in 1 year. So some guys just don't have it. They don't have the it factor. And he doesn't have the it factor. he's never had the it factor.
No. He has the it factor in random 11 a.m. games on some Sundays. So, okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Woo. So does Kirk Cousins, and everybody likes to dump on him.
Yeah, he can do it every now and then in meaningless games. That's why he's always better in the first half of the season than the second half of the season.
Because the games get more meaningful.
Yeah, because they get more meaningful. Every year, it's the same thing.
Remember, he hurt his hand in the last half of the season. So there's your excuse.
Purdy hurt his hand. Everybody's hurting their hands, man.
Josh Allen freaking destroyed his finger against the Jags.
And then leads a game-winning
drive.
All three of them did that in their games. And those are all the three guys who won.
Yeah.
It's like, at some point, you just got to face reality. And the reality of the situation is Herbert and Goff are more similar than they are different. At least Goff's won some playoff games, too. That's why I say Herbert's average. Because he hasn't
Goff
done
has
anything.
been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Herbert hasn't done anything. What has he done? If the Chargers didn't take him at 6 overall and instead the Dolphins took Tua, or the Dolphins took Herbert and then the Chargers take Tua at 6, do you get the same exact results besides a few more injuries? Probably. You get a couple playoff appearances and no wins, and that's exactly what Tua did with the Dolphins.
Because Tua's been to what, 2 playoffs? He's made the playoffs twice. And he's been terrible in both of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Herbert's made it 3 times, and he's been terrible in all 3. Oh, okay, so they're about the same.
And if Tua didn't get hurt so much, he probably would have made it a third time too. Well, no, he definitely would.
There was that one season where they were pretty good, and then he got hurt, and then it kind of all crumbled from there.
Yeah, they had to start something. Yeah, I can't take him in a must-win. You need one drive, right? You're down by 4, and you have a minute and a half, and you have all 3 timeouts. Minute and a half. You're down by 4, and you have one drive. You can name me. I know you can name me 15 quarterbacks you'd rather have in that situation.
I'd rather have guys everybody hates. I'd rather have Jalen Hurts in that situation.
I would rather have Jalen Hurts.
Everybody hates Jalen Hurts.
I would rather have Lamar in that situation.
Yeah, of course.
Mahomes, of course. Josh Allen, of course.
I'd rather have Purdy in that situation.
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather have Bo Nix in that situation.
I'd rather have Bo Nix in that situation.
We've seen it this season. Did we put Burrow already?
Oh, no,
I'd rather have Burrow.
Not Burrow. And now we have 8 more. I'd rather have Darnold in that situation. I know that's it can be a bit of a stretch, but he's got a division title. You know, he's had a first round bye. You know, at least he's had 2 14-win seasons, and I don't think Herbert's ever had one 14-win season. Stroud's pretty close.
Yeah, Stroud's pretty close.
But I would probably rather okay. Let's think about this. If the Texans play the Patriots last night, the game's closer.
Yeah, it is.
And I get it. The Texans defense is a step up above the Chargers, but it's not like it's a massive step up. The Texans defense is number 1, and the Chargers would be like number 8. So you move up 7 spots. You know, but I think the Patriots would score 16 against the Texan defense anyway. I just think Stroud would at least get them 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Goff in that situation. That one's really close.
Tight.
But because he's won some playoff games, I'll give it to him.
Did we say Stafford yet? Because I was thinking about
Stafford, of course.
And then I got mixed up.
Dak.
Honestly, yeah.
Dak.
I was gonna say, give me Lawrence in that thing.
Give me Lawrence.
And you know, Lawrence he's been up and down, but he played pretty good yesterday. Lawrence played pretty good. The last interception was tough, but you know, it's not like it was a terrible throw. It was a tip ball.
He kept him in the game. You can't force that ball. I think we at least named 15 there.
We might have
maybe
gotten to
14, maybe 13, but still really dang close. Yeah, when we think of like the Bryce Youngs, that's where we get a little fanciful.
That's where it gets worse.
Yeah, but we're almost there. There. You know, in a 1 drive, you got to have it.
I mean, heck, you know who we didn't say, who sucked at the end of the year but was kind of known for comebacks at the beginning of the year, was Baker.
Oh, yeah, Baker.
He was known for it at the beginning of the year.
I'd take Baker in a 1 drive over Herbert. I would. You might get the same result.
Might.
But I think he
did that a lot in the first half of the year.
Chance. You know, we got to look at it very like what can guys do and not do. Mayfield's really good at scrambling. You know, so maybe it gives you a chance because of that. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of guys. You know, even like healthy Jaden Daniels, I would argue would be, I would put him like, just haven't seen enough, but he does have playoff wins.
Did we even say Drake May yet?
No, we didn't even say
Drake May.
So now we're over 15.
Yeah.
Now we're over 15. Now some of them are pretty close, but still, the point is there was at least 12 locks.
Well, and when there's really a question of, oh man, him or Darnold, him or Baker, that should tell you all you need. That should tell you all you need. If you're thinking
Both those
about
guys have playoff wins, by the way.
Does Darnold have a playoff win? I don't think he does.
Oh. No,
but he almost gets the benefit of the doubt for getting a bye.
No, I was thinking Seattle, and they play next week. Yeah. I forgot they didn't play this week.
And getting a bye is almost like a soft playoff win because you
it has to count for something.
Essentially get a free game off. So even though it doesn't count as a playoff win, it's like a soft playoff win because you helped your team get to the point where you don't have to play a whole playoff game that everybody else in the league does, or everybody else in your conference does. Only one other team in the league gets that luxury. So that should count for something, too. Yeah. It's like a half. He has half of a playoff win.
Yeah, getting a first-round bye is huge, which he hasn't done. Bo next 2 years, he has a division title and a bye. First seed overall in the AFC. 6 years, no division titles, no first seeds, no second seeds.
Yeah.
I think the highest they ever got was third seed.
Well, no, they couldn't have because they never won the division. The best
when they
played
the
the best they could have ever because the Jaguars were I
think they were fourth and then the Chargers were fifth.
Yeah,
that's the highest they've gotten is fifth.
And they might have had a better record than Jaguars, but that doesn't matter.
That was
the playoff world.
Yeah. Highest seeding is fifth. Elite is out of the question. Really good's out of the question. Now we're arguing with good and average with very little ceiling too. By the way.
Yeah,
because we've seen him with tons of help. Unlimited amounts of help, it seems like. I gotta give it to Chargers. They've done everything they can. And you're just stuck. You're stuck. It's like the Cowboys with Romo. They threw everything, to give Romo some help. They gave him everything. First round receivers, really good running backs, elite O-line, solid defense, good coaches. And Romo couldn't do it either.
It is kind of Romo-esque. Romo might be one of the more accurate comps.
And Romo was always called average.
Yeah.
And
no one really pretended that he was super good that often. There's a couple years where people are like, wait, is Romo actually figuring it out? And you're like, oh, no, the playoffs come around. You're like, never mind.
I think did they have a playoff win?
They had to have had one playoff win with Romo. They had to have had one.
I think he has like 2 under his belt.
Did they have a bye? Because I'm pretty sure that the famous Dez non-catch.
They beat the Lions that year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because then the next round was when they played Green Bay for the Dez non-catch.
And then I think Romo won one way back in like 2009 or something.
And Romo played good in the Dez non-catch game too.
Yeah.
Herbert can't say that yet about playing good in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's like Eli, like post rings.
Yeah. Oh boy, was Eli rough post rings.
Yeah. I think he had one playoff appearance.
I think just one, yeah.
And got destroyed?
Yeah.
I've gone on enough about that.